So Wednesday night's auction, if you're coming out, here's what you can expect this week. We got a pretty good auction for you. Good dab of Mickey. Lots of Mickey Smalls, including some music boxes, a cookie jar, telephone, and more. Down the front, we're going to do toys again. I've got a nice collection of the advertising pencils, new old stock. They include things like Dr. Pepper and some oil and Texaco, oil and gas. They're all new old stock, none of them have been sharpened. They'll run more of the miniature pedal cars and toy cars. They'll run several flats of those. Along with these, I don't know what these are. We'll sell these this week too. They're these animal cutouts. They're 3D. They really have a great presence. They'd be fun for decorating. Kind of a fun thing. A little bit of flatware. And then our typical fronts. Oh, there's a really good piece in here this week too. I don't have the whole set, but what I have is mint. But this particular piece of Pyrex is a fairly scarce one, so we'll sell that. I do have one of the small pieces for it as well. I don't have the whole set, but that's what we have. We'll sell that. Antique postcards, Murano glass, and a couple of good pieces of stereo equipment. Yamaha P550 turntable. That's a better turntable and it's in pretty good condition. Along with this Fisher stereo receiver. So that'll be a good one too. Over on this side, we'll run down the back and the sides. A couple of interesting things. There's an original Bernard Martin painting. And there's also an original Tom Beard watercolor. It has cows on it. We'll shoot it as we go past it, but that's a really good piece too. And some other better art. Marquetry pictures, large pieces. There's a pair of those. They're Middle Eastern. They're very cool. On this front, there's an entire flat full of these miniature license plates. Those are kind of cool, and there's probably 100 of them in there. The pinups, everybody always likes the pinups. Vintage 1940s and 50s. Those are original ones. Back on the back side, we've got a little trumpet, some other little antiques and cameras and such. On this, in the showcase this week, a huge, humongous set of Cutco in the block. Looks like it's a complete set. There are two of these Star Trek coins. These are sterling silver proof coins. There's 2 coins per, so 2 ounces of sterling in each one, and they are complete with their boxes. And it looks like these are a little bit better. Some vintage jewelry, several good cameras, better Pentex, and there is this. So there's a handful in the back as well. So if you want to buy cameras, we've got a lot of that this week. This Romero cat, this is a limited edition. This one is 3711 out of 4,000. It is a signed piece. A little bit better. Quality's all there on that one. We have a whole collection of the Detroit pottery. There are several pieces of it from large to small on tiles. So we have a lot of that. That's going to be a good collection. One of my favorite things in here right now, this Bacchus pewter 18th century lidded jar, lidded jug. It is a great piece. More sterling silver on the rings. So we'll do another batch of the sterling silver fashion rings, as well as a few more of these. These were the Kitty's Critters. A couple more of those. So they'll be there. We'll run down the front. We have a little bit of sterling. Got some good glass. Glass includes Lalique and Steuben and more. The frog is signed. I don't know who did this frog, but he is signed. He's very cool. He's well signed right here, but you'll have to come down here and look. Also, I think this piece of glass is really good as well, so you might want to come down and have a look at that. Beer advertising. This African mask, that's a cool piece. Nice big, too, if you look my hand on it. It's a nice big piece. We'll sell that. More antique photos. Interesting in the photos, little girls with dolls, vintage cameras, and then in the showcase, we have more of the Detroit pottery. There's several pieces of the Detroit pottery that are going to be in there as well. We'll also sell another African mask, and several pieces of art, most of it signed. Back on this other side over here, we'll do jewelry again. This time our jewelry flats include, here, let's get this one out. You're really going to have to go through these. There's a lot of named costume jewelry in here, and this is an entire flat of vintage watches. So there's a lot of that type of material that got mixed in. There was a lot of jewelry this week. You won't want to miss that. And we're going to do more of the Christmas ornaments. So we've got really 3 tables worth of the Hallmark Christmas ornaments. They're from the collection of the woman who has all the signed ones that we've been selling in here. So those are good. Over here on the sides, we have lots of just little collectible things. Lots of the big little books, the little golden books, and then several more flats of antique and vintage license plates, Asian camera, a little bit of mix of everything. On our back 2 tables here, there's an interesting collection. Well, 2 actually. So we'll have 2 interesting collections of Denby. This is the Denby on this side. This is from the 1960s and 70s, and then this Denby is from like the 1970s and 80s. But 2 really good sets, and multiple pieces along with serving pieces and canisters. So there's a lot here to buy, and then we'll also sell around the backs and the shelves. So you won't want to miss this week. It's a really good one.